Hi, I'm Rick Daynes. I'm from San Diego, California. Um, I've got all kinds of hobbies and interests. I spend a lot of time in the ocean, outdoors. I've got 5 kids, 3 of whom have special needs. So we're a special needs family, and that's kind of our community. Um, I'm a living donor. I donated my left kidney to a young lady, mom of 4 kids. It was never on my radar. It was not ever something I aspired to do. I didn't know about it. I'd heard stories, but I was not aspiring to be a living donor at any time. I was at a family reunion, and we were just chilling on the couch, and my sister-in-law said to me, "Hey, do you remember Jenny Peterson?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, you met her 4 years ago. We brought They brought 8 families with them to camp at the beach from out of state. And I just went to be with my brother and met 8 other families that were there with them. And that was it." And so she explained this to me. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I remember them now." And she said, "Well, she needs a kidney." And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, put me on the list." And I said to my wife, I said, "Hey, so I don't know if you caught that conversation I had with Lindsay, but I told her to put me on the kidney donation list for this person who I didn't know. I didn't remember, if they were to showing up at my door, I wouldn't know who they were." And I said, "We need to talk about this because, this is kind of like sometimes my life feels a little bit Forrest Gumpish, where like things just kind of happen to me." And I said, "I can see this happening." And my wife was kind of like, "Yeah, I can see it happening too." And I said, "Well, they'll never get to me. I'm 1,000 miles away. I'm in a different state." And I had completely forgot about it. And then I got a call one day, and they said, "This is the transplant plant center at the University of Utah." And they sent me the kit, and I was tested. And then they said, we'll contact you in a week to 10 days. And I think 3 weeks went by. And again, I totally forgot about it. And she called and she said, um, "So your blood and tissue is a good match, and we'd like to know if you want to proceed." I was really overwhelmed with emotion, and um, I didn't know what to say. And so I said, "Yeah, let's proceed." And so, and the rest is a lengthy story of passing tests and failing tests, and some tests being in the gray area. And I just really felt like this was something that I was destined to do. So I just had my 3-year anniversary, but we did it July 3rd, 2018. And it was a great day, and went through the operation. Doctor took out my kidney, and then actually I was asleep for the whole thing, so I'm not really sure what happened. But I know that kidney somehow ended up in her, and she has life. She is functioning. Um, and actually, this was kind of cool, but um, so I said, "This is going to be a 2-week recovery for me up there." And they're just like, "Anything you need, anything you need." And I said, "I need babysitters." And they sent down a sister for the first week to watch my kids. And that's not easy, right? Because I've got some kids with special needs. And then after a week, she left. And then a sister-in-law came down and watched my kids. And they were total strangers, right? Like, in what world would you let a total stranger come and watch your kids? I thought, no way my wife is going to go for that. But she's just like, okay, like, this is something special. We're all out of our comfort zone on this. Let's do that. So I enjoyed 2 weeks at an uncle's house where I recovered, and then got on a plane, came home after I went in for a visit. They checked me out. They said, "You're good." And then that's that. My life hasn't changed. Physically, I feel the same. I don't really miss my kidney. Like, I don't know, and sometimes I'll talk to my recipients family and they'll say, do you miss your kidney? And I'm just like, not really, don't tell him that, but I just don't miss him. I just don't. I'm okay without him. Like, he's got a purpose where he is, and he's doing just great. And he's providing maximum filtration where he is. And so I think, I hope anyway, that she'll get a lot of life out of that kidney. My transplant coordinator told me 120,000 people in the United States of America need a kidney transplant. And you're just like, oh, like, you got this feeling in the pit of your stomach, like they're low on energy. And my recipient, she told me, she says, I feel like there's a clock ticking on my life. There is that moment where you think to yourself, holy cow, this is a big freaking deal. And it is a big deal. And I'm grateful that I went through it. If I had another kidney, I would give it to someone else. So I enjoyed all the events of the transplant games. I did all of them that I could. I even signed up for ballroom dance, but I couldn't get anyone to dance with me. I almost submitted a tape of just me dancing with myself. I was going to do it to Billy Idol's Dance with Myself. But probably the funnest thing was I just had my 50th birthday party. And with COVID and everything, man, I was ready to throw a party. So I threw a party with all my friends, and it was great. And I had a band there, and I said, man, if I'm paying for this band, then I'm going to jam with the band. And so I said, you guys give me a song, because I'm going to jam with the band, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to submit it to Transplant Games for Lyrics for Life. And so I sang, so I'm a child from the 80s, right? So I sang, I'll stop the world and melt with you. So I sang that song and had it recorded, and then that's what I submitted, which is funny because, if on the Transplant Games, they're really strict. They say you can't do any event that you're not signed up for, right? But what are they going to do, right? What are they going to do? So I was signed up for I was not signed up for all kinds of events. I just submitted everything. So next year's Transplant Games is in San Diego, my home city. Like, I can't believe it. So I've already told all my family, like, we're going full bore for this, right? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get fast. I'm going to throw that cornhole thing. How hard is that? I mean, I don't know. I've never done it before. Pickleball is on the docket. I've never played that either, but I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn all these things, and I'm going to compete because, I really want to do it. I want to get out and do it. I think everyone should consider being an organ donor. I mentioned before that my transplant coordinator told me there were 120,000 people just in the United States that needed a kidney. How can you not consider for a moment putting yourself on the national registry to be a potential donor? I mean, just to do it, to be a potential donor, and then go through the process. And we all have our own free agency and are able to choose what we want to do. But sometimes those choices can lead to tremendous upside. And I can only speak for me, but giving a kidney was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Not only was it an act of selflessness that I really needed to do for me, but I've got kids, and the lesson that it taught them was completely invaluable. And it's caused my family to come together into a more cohesive unit.